It's time. It's time for you to release your music. I know it's hard. I know you think you're not there yet. I know you think your music doesn't sound as good yet. But the question that you need to ask yourself, or that we need to ask ourselves, is what is good enough for you? We listen to music. When we listen to music, we listen to the best of the best because they're the ones that are famous. Of course, they had like a long process. Most of the times they had a long process behind them to become who they are now, to have the skills that they have now. And we expect our first releases to be as good as these, which is, there are some cases where that's realistic, where people really have been working on their music for so long and haven't released anything, and it's actually that good already. But it doesn't need to be that way. Like, you have to allow yourself to not be as good as you want to be. You know, you have to allow yourself to not be where you want to be yet, and to allow yourself to be a beginner, basically. Allow yourself to just take action, and while you know that you aren't where you want to be, you accept that and you just do it anyways. Because really, the thing that's holding you back is probably fear. I don't know, maybe it's fear of people not liking your music, or maybe you put your value on your music and you think that your value is dependent on how good your music is. That was the case for me, at least. Really, just know that that's like, all of that shit is not true. Your music is just a product of something that you did. It was how you felt in that moment. You know, it's what you wanted to do in that moment. You should also know that for you, maybe it's not good enough yet, but for many people who maybe want to hear your music, it's more than good enough. It's amazing. And you're using your fears as an excuse to take that away from them, which is kind of egocentric in a way, you know? You have a gift, you have a talent, you have a product, it's already finished, it's just sitting on your laptop, and you're not giving it away. And by giving it away, you would actually give yourself a gift of progressing in your career. You would actually get better at something that you're doing. Of course, you're not there yet where you want to be. That's fine. But you're getting there. You're taking the step. And the people who actually want to hear it, they get to hear you, you know? You're already building up something. And I know it's hard to start something when you know that it's probably not going to work out yet. I mean, you're not going to be famous from this one song. You're not going to be successful from this one song. And so you're like, why would I even do it? And I feel the same way with these videos, you know. I kind of have this calling or this feeling in myself that I should make these videos to talk about whatever I want to talk. Music, you know, mindset and all these kind of things. But at the same time, I know that it's a long process, and I know that I'm not as good as I want to be yet. I'm not as good in talking maybe, but you know, for some people this message is really important. So I still did it today, but many times I didn't do it. There's so many times where I felt like doing it, but I didn't because of this exact thought. Maybe we have to forget the result for a while, you know? And think about, like, why do you even do it? Why do you even do something? For me, the reason I do these videos is because I have the feeling, I feel like doing it, really. And what's holding me back sometimes is the expectation of a result. Like, I want something to happen from it. But if you really feel into yourself, you know that it's just a feeling. You just want to do it. So maybe we have to forget sometimes that we have to forget the result and just accept that there's not going to be any outcome, you know. And at the same time, I think that even if there is no outcome for us, there still is an outcome, maybe for one person, for two, for three. Like, if I think about it, if someone watches this video and they release, it's just one person, let's say it's just one person that releases a song, I've already achieved an immense outcome. Even if for me maybe it's not an outcome at all, like it's just one view on YouTube, but for the person who actually released the music, it's huge. It's a step. It's the first step to their career. And who knows, maybe someone watches this video and becomes super famous and has an amazing life living their passion because I just actually did it. So the same thing applies to your music. If there's only one person that you get to touch with your music, then you've already achieved more than enough, really. Like, you've made something that you enjoyed doing, you made a song, and you touched one person with this song. That's why you make music, right? And that's something that I have to remind myself many times, because I often want to have a result from my music. You know, I want to make a living from it, which I'm currently not doing yet. But then sometimes I have to remind myself that the real reason I make music is because I really enjoy making music and because I have the wish to touch people with it, to make them feel good. You know, if someone gets to listen to my song and they just chill out, it makes their experience a tiny bit better. That's basically everything that I could wish for, you know? So yeah, to conclude this video, we should allow ourselves to be beginners. We should allow ourselves to not be as good as we want to be. And also we should remind ourselves that the reason we do what we like to do is because we like to do it. And it's not because of a result that we want to have. Of course, the result is cool, something nice to have and something that we strive for. But just remind yourself why you're making music. Why are you making your songs? You're making them because it's a feeling that you have inside. You want to share it. You want to create something. And then people get to hear it. And then we should also remind ourselves that somewhere out there are some people who really want to hear your music, who really want to hear your message, who actually maybe even need your message, and that we can actually serve them. So we should remind ourselves that not putting out what we create is actually kind of selfish in a way, and we're actually like not giving away, like not using our gifts. And our gifts are like the biggest thing that we could use. So yeah, just release your music. You know, if it doesn't sound as good, of course do your best, like make the best out of it, but put yourself a deadline. Say like in 2 weeks it's going to be finished. I'm going to accept it as it is in 2 weeks. Don't change too many things. Send it to a mixing engineer. Let it be mixed. Pay something, you know, invest a little bit. Make it as good as you can right now. If you can afford a mixing engineer, pay it. Get the best result that you can. But accept it as it is and release it. So that was today's message. Thank you for watching this video.